Do you ever feel stuck? Like your brain just refuses to cooperate when you're trying to do something hard or important? Whether it's studying for an exam, starting that big project, or working out, the resistance feels overwhelming. But what if I told you there's a proven way to train your brain to tackle even the hardest tasks? Welcome to the Lotus Method. First, let's understand why doing hard things feels, well, hard. Our brain is wired to avoid discomfort and conserve energy. This is called the law of least effort. It's a survival mechanism that worked wonders for our ancestors but now often keeps us stuck in procrastination. The prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for decision-making and willpower, is constantly battling the limbic system, the part that wants instant gratification. To succeed, we need to help the prefrontal cortex win this battle. The Lotus Method is inspired by the lotus flower, which grows in muddy water but blooms beautifully above the surface. Similarly, our minds can thrive even in challenging circumstances if we cultivate the right strategies. The Lotus Method has 3 core principles: awareness, intentionally, and growth. Let's break each one down. Awareness is the first step. You can't change what you're not aware of. Start by identifying your resistance points. Ask yourself, why am I avoiding this task? Is it fear of failure? Overwhelm? Boredom? Cut to a list on screen, common reasons for avoidance. 1. Fear of failure. 2. Lack of clarity. 3. Perfectionism. 4. Low energy. Once you've pinpointed the cause, you're no longer fighting an invisible enemy. Create an awareness log. Every time you procrastinate, jot down what you're avoiding and why. Over time, patterns will emerge, and you'll know exactly what triggers your resistance. Intentionally is about taking deliberate action to counter resistance. This involves setting clear goals, breaking tasks into manageable steps, and creating a game plan. For example, instead of saying, "I need to write a report," break it into smaller steps: research topic, create outline, write introduction, and so on. Each small win builds momentum. Use the 5-minute rule. Commit to doing a task for just 5 minutes. Often, starting is the hardest part, but once you begin, momentum carries you forward. Growth is the third principle of the Lotus Method. Hard things become easier the more you practice them. This is thanks to neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to rewire itself. Every time you push through resistance and complete a challenging task, you're literally training your brain to handle difficulty better in the future. Celebrate even small wins. Each success reinforces the habit of doing hard things. Remember, growth isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. Now that we've covered the principles, let's dive into practical tools to apply the Lotus Method in your daily life. Time blocking. Use time blocking to allocate specific periods for hard tasks. Knowing when and where you'll work removes decision fatigue. Pomodoro technique. Work for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. Short, focused bursts of effort make tasks feel less daunting. Visualization. Spend a few minutes visualizing yourself completing the task successfully. This primes your brain for action. Accountability. Share your goals with someone you trust or join a community. Knowing someone is rooting for you adds an extra layer of motivation. Setbacks are inevitable, but they don't define your journey. When you slip up, practice self-compassion. Instead of thinking, "I've failed," reframe it as, "What can I learn from this?" 1. Reflect on what went wrong. 2. Adjust your approach. 3. Focus on the next small step. Let's hear from people who've transformed their lives using the Lotus Method. From overcoming procrastination to achieving big dreams, their stories prove that change is possible. The Lotus Method isn't just motivational talk, it's backed by science. Research shows that self-awareness, intentional action, and consistent practice significantly improve productivity and mental resilience. Now it's your turn. What hard thing have you been avoiding? Start applying the Lotus Method today. Remember, awareness, intentionally, growth. Small steps lead to big changes. You've got this. Download our free Lotus Method checklist in the description to get started. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, And share it with someone who needs this. Let's bloom together.